In the last lesson, we saw how much amazing stuff there's available within the DOM, and we have access to it all using JavaScript. And now we can begin to tie together our web page, our HTML page, together with our JavaScript and really do some really cool stuff. So let's start by being able to select our JavaScript and output it within our JavaScript, and actually make some changes to the web content that's being presented to the user. So we saw in the last lesson how we can use document all to pull back all of that amazing information. So let's take this one step further and let's select some content. So one of these elements from our web page, and maybe update some of the code some of the HTML that's sitting within inside of there. So this is actually going to be really easy to do. You're going to be amazed at how easy it is to select different elements from our web page, and this is going to work in a similar fashion to when you're using CSS, where we're identifying elements via the ID or via class and so on. So we have some built-in methods. So document, we always have to identify the document object. This is what we want to use, and we've got some built-in methods that are available there, so we can return reference to the ID. So here we need to specify what the ID is. So let's pick up the element with the ID output. And first of all, let's set up a variable and we'll call it output, and we'll pick up and hold the contents of output within there. And let's do the console directory and output now what we've got contained within the object called output. So when we refresh the page, we see we've got all of this information sitting in that one element output. So we see that we've got the same thing here. We can get base URI. So some of this information is repetitive, but we can also see things like we can see the child nodes. So we can see any child nodes that are available within there. We're able to see class list and so on. So this is all the different classes that are there, class name and so on, client height. So we've got some really good information here. But we also see that we've got something called inner HTML, inner text. And these again are going to be object values. So we've got an ID, we've got inner HTML and inner text. And we can really easily update and change these. So let's make a change to output, and we're just going to call it again by the identifier here, so that inner HTML. So I can just copy that out, or I could write that out. And here we can set our inner HTML. So let's just set it to hello world. Go back out to our web page and take a look at where it says nothing yet. And when we refresh it, now we've got a new value in there, dynamically added via the DOM using JavaScript. So we see that we've got inner text. So the real difference between inner text and inner HTML is that inner HTML allows us to add our content as HTML content, and inner text would output it as actual regular text. So that's the difference there, so that we see those HTML tags that we would be placing within there. So that's the two options there that we have for outputting and updating the content, and really easy and straightforward. We see within the inner HTML, so it's actually not writing out the HTML tags, but the inner text is writing it out as just regular text. And we've got a whole bunch more information that we're going to be definitely getting to in the upcoming lessons. There's a lot of really exciting stuff within here.